So I've been meaning to make a channel for a while, like a while, just like where I can make content for fun, but also where I don't have to like edit out basically like myself or my personality because pretty much everywhere else on the internet where I post content, it's like scripted. My face is basically never in it. Like I've like come to learn that like it's most successful, at least on like the business side of things for like my music production stuff, when like it's scripted and my face is not in it. But like I've wanted to make like face to face video logs for a long time. And sometimes I post videos like this to my newsletter, and every once in a while I'll get a comment that's like, dang, like I actually fuck with your personality. Like I didn't know that you were chill like that or something like that. Like even the other day I got a comment like that where it was like, I like content where people don't edit out their personalities and stuff like that. So I just want to start doing stuff like that. And I just want to do it for fun. Like I don't really care about if it gets views, or I definitely don't care about it going viral or anything like that. Now, of course, whatever I approach in life, I want to do it like, well, I want to put like my best foot forward, basically. Like I never want to be bullshitting in pretty much any aspect of my life. I'm like, unless it's like explicitly like I'm here to bullshit, like maybe if I'm just chilling. But even if I'm chilling, like I want my rest and relaxation to be like pure rest and relaxation. Like I don't want to bullshit on my rest, because then it's not rest. So, you know, I just want to be intentional, blah, blah, blah. But all that bullshit aside, that's kind of like what I want to talk about today, is actually like creating content, because my approach to this is still like the same overall. I think the format and the intention is just different. But I want to talk specifically about like why content can be powerful, but at the same time, it can be very freeing. It can be very freeing in that it allows you to express yourself creatively through the actual medium of your content by sharing inspirational stories, entertaining stories, and educational lessons and stories and stuff like that. And so particularly, at least for like music production, what I've noticed a lot is that it's like very productive for your career in a lot of different ways. It allows you to scale, it allows you to sell products, it allows you to grow your network. And so I made a post the other day on Threads, and let me pull it up to make sure like I read it correctly. Right, okay. So I said, the amount of times an artist will tell me that they bought beats because they've watched my producer content is insane. So that's like content for producers, right? Like I'm not making it for artists, not really, but like it's for anybody to watch for entertainment, inspiration, or education. So artist falls into that category of people that could be inspired or entertained by it, and they might learn about mixing, or if they, you know, tweak a little bit with beat making, they'll learn a little bit from that. And then I went on to say, if you're not posting content, you're folding super hard. It's literally free marketing that you also get paid through ad revenue for. So like I was more so talking about it from the business perspective side of things, especially in the latter half of that post. But I really do believe that it's just like a medium for like self-expression as well. And it was interesting because a lot of what I post on Threads is kind of just like throwaway stuff. Like I'm never really thinking that deeply about it. And more than anything, like I'm never like, especially if you follow me on Threads, I'm never like talking at people. I'm never really trying to teach anyone anything. They're really just like notes to myself, so I can look back and be like, oh yeah, like this was an important thing I thought about on this day. Or they're kind of like ways for me to like internalize and process stuff that I'm learning, or like having insights about at that particular moment. So that's more so what this was. But then something that made me think a little bit more deeply about it was that Lamont Graves, who's like this like really established like producer A&R guy, he helps producers basically just like monetize purely like strictly on the beat making side of things. He's like super tapped in. All of his stuff is really good shit. He's really dope. He like reposted that on Instagram. He also reposted it on Threads and stuff. And he was just like talking about like the power behind like thinking in that way about content creation in general, but then particularly from the perspective of being a music producer. And that made me think, okay, like this is actually something that's like really, really valuable to understand as a producer. And it goes so deep because some of my favorite songs that I've ever made, some of my favorite beats were the results of me making content. But then specifically, some of my favorite songs that I've ever done are the result of artists literally finding my music through my producer content. So like, for example, one of my probably my top 3 favorite like songs slash placements that I got done was with an artist named Dizzy 8. Really dope, very well established artist, has a really good following, makes amazing music. And we got a couple of songs done. There was one called Tighten Up. There was one called John Wick, and there's like one or two more that I'm like super blanking on right now. But all of that music was the result of him literally watching like a Travis Scott tutorial that I made in like 2023. And it's just crazy because like those are not like the biggest songs in my discography, like by any stretch of the imagination. And you know, they definitely have like millions of streams, like especially like Tighten Up probably has like maybe a couple million streams total. I think John Wick might have like shy of 1 million or at around 1 million. And those are not small numbers either by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying it's like, they're not my favorite because they're like mega viral or anything like that. Although I am proud of the success that they were able to achieve. But it's more so, I just really like those songs. I like the content. I like Dizzy 8. He was an artist that I wanted to work with way before like I ever thought like I would have a career in music production. Like I always liked his like anime raps. Like I was always a fan of his brand. I was always a fan of what he was doing and what he was talking about. Like if you don't know, like I'm a super weeb, so it was his stuff was always right up my alley. And I got an opportunity to work with someone who made something I actually really liked, but then also someone I actually really wanted to work with. And they found me because I was posting content. Like I wasn't sending out cold DMs. I wasn't, spamming emails. I wasn't sending out endless packs. It's literally just a guy. Like, it's actually so cool to just like sit here and really think about. Cause like, bro, I literally did not send him an email. I did not message him. Like, he literally just hit me up for the beat that I was making in that video. It was Big Business. I was making Big Business in a Travis Scott tutorial, which I only made that beat for that tutorial. It was to talk about drum programming and stuff. So then he asked for Big Business, never used it, then asked for a bunch of other beats. And then those ended up becoming the songs that we got done. And it's like so cool because it's just like that wouldn't have happened if I didn't want to share like what I'm doing in my career from the perspective of like trying to be entertaining, trying to be educational, and trying to be inspirational, because I did make Big Business in that tutorial, but the main goal of Big Business was actually to complete a sync project for my agent, because I have to like turn in a project every quarter for my publishing deal. And Big Business has been in like commercials and stuff. I almost got it. Well, I don't want to say, I don't like talking about stuff that almost was but wasn't, or stuff that could be in the future but isn't yet. So I won't say that, but like Big Business was a song more so for that, and it was part of that Smoke project that I dropped. And Big Business ended up getting like, I think like maybe couple, like maybe multiple tens of thousands. I think it has at least 10,000 streams on Spotify and stuff like that. So like it's a pretty decent beat just in my instrumental discography. And then it's also been in a couple of commercials, and it continues to be something that sync agents or sync libraries from time to time will use and stuff like that. And it also gets sales in my beat store as well. So it was for the purpose of being a part of my discography, but then through it being a part of my discography, it also became content. I was able to share it through content as well, which helped me get views, and the ad revenue also helps you make money, but it also helps you just display your product. So that's kind of like what I meant by, it's like you're getting to show off your products, but then you also get paid for it at the same time. It's just like really cool. And it's like, you can't even fathom like what you have the ability to accomplish just by sharing what you're doing. Now there's a format you have to follow with that. You can't really just like wing it. But once you, and that's like a topic for another day. I'm not really trying to get into all that right now. But like once you do start doing that and you kind of like develop the courage and like the confidence in optimism to be able to like just share your story through inspiration, education, and entertainment, I think it's very, very powerful. So for anybody who's watching this genuinely, and you don't have to be a music producer, and like the stuff I talk about on this channel, I don't want it to be relegated to just music producers, right? I mean, if this does grow into something meaningful, I would like to talk to just people in general. But I really think that anybody in general, no matter what you do, if you're a student in med school, you can share inspiration, education, and entertainment about what you're doing in med school. I have a cousin that does that, and she grew a following on YouTube just doing that. And she makes like decent, like really good bread actually from ad revenue and stuff. And she's still in med school. I've seen lawyers do it. I've seen like, you could do it as a fitness person. You could do it as a grocery store clerk. I've seen people who work at 7-Eleven build like followings of hundreds of thousands of people just sharing stories, inspiration, education, entertainment about what they're doing in their life. Again, it has to be, you have to structure it in a certain way, because you can't just like bullshit it. Like even what I'm talking to you about right now was something I had to like kind of plan out ahead of time. I kind of like had an outline of how I wanted to present the topics that I'm talking about today. And then I kind of like committed that mostly to memory. And now I'm talking to you through the framework of that outline, basically. So it's like, you never want to like bullshit it, but at the same time, I think you shouldn't like tell yourself that it's something not worth doing because you feel like you don't have the ability to, because it doesn't take as much as you would think, right? And YouTube, to a certain degree, is getting back to like kind of not favoring people who make content where it's just, you know, talking to the homies and stuff like that, but there's a space for it. And I think if you approach it with like good intent and with the right mindset and with good effort, just like anything in life, you could see pretty good results with it. And all the more if you put like even more effort and even more intention behind it. So I would urge, that's kind of like my call to action in this video. I would urge you, if you have like a creative kind of germ in your body, if you have like the desire to create content specifically, more explicitly, like just go for it. If you have something you want to share in life and you don't know how to share it, content creation could be the actual avenue for that. It's like and it's just like anything with life. If you just like take the time to learn it and you take the time to practice it, it's something you can get good at. It's something you go from sucking at to being not so sucky at, to actually being decent at, to being good at, to being an expert, to being a master in. And I think the really key thing that you need to remember at the end of the day is that if you want your content to resonate with people, it has to just fit into one of three categories, which I've like been repeating this throughout this entire video. It just has to be educational, entertaining, or inspiring. It has to at least be one of those. If it checks two of them, you're even better. If it checks all three of them, then like you're golden, right? So it's like, as long as you do that, as long as you have good intent, and as long as you put like good effort towards it, I think it's something worth doing, whether you're a music producer or any kind of artist or really any kind of person in life. And again, it doesn't have to be for the purpose of making money. Like, for example, what I'm trying to do on this channel, and God willing, hopefully what I am able to do with this channel, is not really make money. Like I'm already fine with money. Like I have that figured out in life in general, but then specifically on the content creation side, like I don't want to do any more content creation for business than I am doing right now. This is purely because like I just want to create content for fun. I want an avenue where I can actually do what I'm telling you, which is just be able to have an avenue for self-expression, but then still communicate that self-expression through entertainment, education, and inspiration, so that it's valuable to people at the end of the day, so that they actually watch it, get something from it, and enrich their lives from that thing that they got from it. So if you are interested in that, subscribe, because I'll be doing this more and more throughout the duration of the rest of this year, and then moving into next year. I'm hoping to drop a lot of stuff on this channel, because I feel like I have a lot of stuff that I could share, that I just want to express in general, and hopefully that I can share it with you. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.